Hey, it's Mazzy, and welcome back. Happy Friday, Friday morning. The rumor mill is heating up, and I think it's beyond rumors at this point. But Buckingham Nicks is being reissued, maybe. Nothing has been announced. This record came out in 1973 on Polydor Records. Look at that, kind of a psychedelically what do they call it? I used to know. I'm a photography agent. I know what this is. Solarization, I guess they would call that. This record did nothing, but it led them to Fleetwood Mac in 1975. Now, both records were produced by Keith Olsen, or at least co-produced by Keith Olsen. They went to high school together at Menlo Atherton High School, just south of San Francisco, Menlo Park. Menlo Park Atherton border there. Just I know it well because we lived in Menlo Park as a kid for a few years, so I knew Menlo Atherton. If I had stayed in the area, I would have gone to Woodside High School. You don't need to know that. That has nothing to do with Buckingham Nicks. But all the signs, all the hints report to this. Now, a week ago, I showed this album that just turned 50 last Friday, 50 years old. And on that day, Rhino announced this is going to be a Rhino hi-fi. People are saying, really, that's been in print so long. But we find out that this is the biggest selling artist through Rhino, at least right now. In this time, in this place, Fleetwood Mac is the biggest selling artist that Rhino puts out on behalf of Warner Reprise and the whole Warner Music Group. So this is coming out as a Rhino Hi-Fi, as I mentioned in that video last week on August 8th. Now, and we also found out on the Steve Westman show with Pat Milligan from Rhino and Kevin Gray that he repaired a tape. So all the copies that you've heard in the last decade or so are not from the same tape. This is the original master tape that Kevin got permission to repair. They reached out to Lindsey Buckingham, I guess the rest of the band, and they gave him permission, and they were ecstatic with the results. So that is coming out. So we got 50 years of this. We also heard that a better version, analog, I think, of Tango Nights coming out of the Rhino Reserve. And I just want to share this news. We think this is coming out. Why do we think this is coming out? And the thing is, there's going to be some people yawning. So, oh, give me a break, that boomer music and everything. But this is one of those unusual situations where since that Fleetwood Mac album, that self-titled 1975, this has never been reissued. So once Fleetwood Mac got popular and Stevie Nicks and Lindsey Buckingham sort of raised the sales and visibility of Fleetwood Mac, and they became this mega band. They're always a great band before, and I actually prefer the early years, but they became majors, and people have been clamoring for this. You can get it on the used market. It's going up in price. It's up $75, $100 or so, sometimes more in some cases. My copy I got in 1975, once that got famous, I popped open a copy in the store. It was sitting on the racks and hardly anyone bought it. But this album, again, produced by Keith Olsen, who produced both albums, this and the self-titled album, co-produced it with Mick Fleetwood, I believe. But here's all the news. Here's the rage. We think this is coming out. Nothing officially announced, but do you want this on vinyl? Do you want it streaming? Do you want it on CD finally? After 52 years? Well, here's the deal. On Instagram, on Stevie Nicks' Instagram page, there was this kind of romantic lyric. And she writes, and if you go forward, and if you go forward. Well, if you go forward is a lyric from Frozen Love, a song on this album. And then in a response on Lindsey Buckingham, this is romantic. Lindsey Buckingham completed the sentence in his own Instagram and read, I'll meet you there. How romantic is that? Maybe they're patching things up. Not that they're going to get together again, I mean, okay? But and I don't think they're going to tour. I think that ship has sailed. Who knows, though? You never know. But I think that's okay. But it's leading to this. But then, wait, there's more. On Mick Fleetwood's page, his Instagram, there's a video of Mick Fleetwood listening outdoors in headphones to Frozen Love. And the capture sent magic then, magic now. Come on, this is a coordinated effort from 3 members of this part of Fleetwood Mac. This part of Fleetwood Mac. Because of this record, Mick invited them, Lindsey Buckingham and Stevie Nicks, to join Fleetwood Mac. Now, again, some people are going to say, oh, yawn, Mazzy, what are you talking about? But, you know, in the scope of things, whether it's hip or not, this is a really good record, a solid record. And you hear what they brought, obviously, to Fleetwood Mac, songwriting, vocalizing, everything. And here you go. There they are, young couple in love at the time. This was recorded at Sunset Sound. The album art direction was Jimmy Wachtel, Waddy Wachtel, brother of Waddy Wachtel, the guitar player who played with Warren Zevon. And Jimmy Wachtel did some of the covers for the Warren Zevon albums, as well as a lot of other artists back then. So a great series of songs, some solo written by each of them members, some they collaborated on, and they brought something to Fleetwood Mac. And the rumor goes, or apparently Stevie Nicks wasn't in love with this cover. I mean, they're young and beautiful and naked here. And over the years, I think she felt she was kind of forced into this photo shoot. I don't want to get into those details, but who knows? Maybe they'll change the cover, and this will still be a rare record. Of course, the original will always be rare. It's not on Polydor. The other thing is people say, well, Polydor is not part of Warner's. Now, we don't know this is coming out for Warner's, for Rhino Warner's, but my guess it is because Buckingham Nicks owned this. Polydor doesn't own it anymore. So with them being happy with what Rhino did with that Fleetwood Mac album, repairing those tapes, putting that out with Tango in the Night, with all these, this is the perfect timing before we're all dead to release this on vinyl and get it out again, because it is a good record. I mean, if you know this record, it's basically very similar without the great rhythm section of Mick Fleetwood and Mick Fleetwood and John McVie here. So you get a sense here. So if you haven't heard it, it's a fabulous record. And so if Lindsey and Stevie own this, why not stay in the family and let Rhino reissue it? Now, if they do, this could be a big seller. Would they go the Rhino high fidelity rate? I'd love them to do that. My guess is they'll do something more commercial. So I hope at least it's an all analog cut. Kevin Gray can do it again, or Chris Bellman, or, there's so many great, handful of great mastering engineers, but that are doing these Matt Luthans as well. But I think Kevin probably would have the edge since he just put all that time fixing this in. And it would be great for them. Maybe they do a consumer version and a hi-fi version, but why not just do a hi-fi version? They can do their initial 5,000 and sell another 5,000. But I think if they did 5,000 of these, they would sell fairly quickly because there is a pent-up demand for this. And I think people who even have the original would clamor for a Kevin Gray cut of Buckingham Nicks. So that is the rumor mill today. But the rumor mill doesn't even seem to be a rumor. It's so obvious. It's basically right there, just shy of an announcement. So Rhino, if you're watching, Stevie Nicks, if you're watching, and I'm sure you're not, Lindsey Buckingham, we lived in the same area. I would hang out in Menlo Park and Atherton, and I used to run track meets at Menlo Atherton High School. But they're older. They would be 5 and 7 years older than me. So, okay, that was a great time on the peninsula, a really beautiful period. And the Grateful Dead were percolating down in Palo Alto there before they came up to San Francisco. I digress. And that's it. So just the rumor mill happens. I think the headline's going to be Buckingham Nicks finally reissued on vinyl. Do I have to put a question mark in the title? Anyway, because I don't want it to be fake news. Mazzy loves you. We'll see what happens.